What does this button do? Greetings, fellow humans. Durgan here with Real Casual Geeks. I recorded a video earlier today that had some problems, and now I am re-recording it because a potential solution has come up. It turns out I was using an old version of the software that I was using to do the recording. That software is OBS, and it stands for Open Broadcaster System. Open Broadcaster Software. Sorry. Sorry for the tunnel vision. That might be a little disturbing for some people. Just don't look at it. Anyway, this is the software here. I was using this one because I thought this was some sort of pay option. Turns out it's not. It's just a new version. Grab the Windows 7, 8, 10 one if you want, or one of the other two distributions, whichever is on the OS that you are wanting to use. The differences are apparently the older version is no longer actually supported, and the newer version is better. Yeah. So this is the newer version here that you can see on screen right now, and on screen, and on screen, and on screen. It does have some differences, but I won't go into what those are because the old one is no longer relevant. So let's start new and fresh. Excuse me. After you install it, this is the screen you're going to get, minus the actual desktop view and such. Down here it will just say scene. I have changed it, and the sources will be empty because it doesn't know what sources you want to be recording or streaming from. This is really handy that the other one didn't have. Audio mixer, which is super handy. Didn't even look at filters and stuff. I'll play with that in a bit. And then you have scene transitions and your controls for starting and stopping, etc. Now, for the basics, this is just for basics, and I have just installed this and set up the one scene just so I can make this video. So let's take a look at creating a scene. Alright, as you can see, I did screen recording with webcam. So it's recording my one monitor and my webcam. So one monitor and webcam. Okay. Now, I'll set up something for just doing screen recording. And you can see how that works. And then, after that, I will set up the... I don't even know what exactly to call it. It's the live stream configuration that Ravencloak and I will be using when we're playing No Man's Sky and whatever else, if we're broadcasting together, okay? And what that will be is I will have my webcam window here, she'll have her webcam window here. If we have a guest, we'll add their windows in here somewhere. And yeah, it'll be fun. So we'll start with just simple screen recording. Okay, this is for if, say, you use Photoshop and you just want to record what you're doing with audio. Okay, adding the audio is totally optional. If you don't want that and you just want to capture your screen, go right ahead. So first we need to set a scene. Okay, so we'll add a scene. We're going to call this one Screen Capture with Audio. Okay. Now you can see the sources are empty and I am gone. I can switch back and there I am. And notice that did a fade in. That's very nice. You can set the duration of that. You can do cut. However, we're just going to go here. And now we are going to... Okay, if you can't see this... That's interesting, isn't it? I want to show what I'm doing, but I can't because what I'm doing blacks it out. What does studio mode do? Blank? Okay. Okay. Well, let's look at it this way. A little awkward. Sorry for that. That's interesting. Not something I really expected to encounter. Alright, well, let's just trot forth. Maybe you can't even see this. I don't know. Nope, probably. Wow, man. Maybe because I'm recording it does still show everything. Sorry guys, I'm just I didn't expect this. Let's leave studio mode. We're going to assume that when I go here it is still recording the screen, okay? It's just not showing it because yeah. So I'll go through this quick so that if it's not recording, I don't waste a whole lot of time. Okay, so screen capture with audio. Add display capture. We want monitor 1. Okay. So now you are back here. As you can see, display capture has been selected. You should now be able to see everything I'm doing, even though all the windows in Windows may be a little disoriented. So after you add the display capture, you'll get this screen, which is just choosing how you want your display shown and which display to use. I want my monitor number 1, and I want the cursor visible so you can see where I'm pointing. So okay, that's all good. Now, it's already capturing the audio, so that's good. But what we'll do is we'll just go into settings and we'll double check some stuff. Okay. Now these are the settings for the software in general, so it will apply to your various scenes. Okay, all at once. So this is, I changed it to the dark theme from the default because the default's really bright. Is it a lot easier on the eyes? Source alignment snapping, I'm not 100% sure what that's doing. It didn't seem to do anything for the webcam window I had, but I have it enabled. By default it's set for snap sources to edge of screen. I don't really want to put things right at the edge of the screen, so I turn that off. Snap sources to other sources sounds okay, and snap sources to horizontal and vertical center sounds okay. So I kept those. These two settings were off. I have turned them on because just peace of mind. I'd like to know when I'm starting a stream that it actually has started, and by getting the requester or the confirmation dialog, that lets me know that indeed it is starting after I accept the dialog. And then when stopping, lets me know that it has actually stopped. So then moving on to the stream window, you can set a custom streaming server if you are hosting your own, or you can use a streaming service, so things like YouTube, Twitch, Hitbox. I don't really know what any of these other ones are because I never use them. Oh look, there's a Facebook Live one. That might be interesting. Now, when you're setting up a stream, I'm personally going through YouTube because I like that it keeps everything instead of the way Twitch does it, where they delete stuff after 2 weeks. So, in YouTube, and it'll be the same sort of thing from Twitch, when you're on your Creator Studio and you go to live streaming and stream now, scrolling to the bottom, you get the stream name key. Now, I don't really know if you have to reveal it to copy it, but you can. I'm not going to because I don't want you streaming on my stream. But yeah, just copy that and paste it in the stream key. You can set the primary YouTube ingest server is fine. Just apply that just so your settings aren't lost, and move on to output. Now this one's a little confusing and in-depth. Some of it is not enabled right now because I'm recording, but you've got output mode, advanced, and default. And this is where you just set up your streaming, recording, and audio settings. This is nice. I like this because if you're going to hit start recording, it doesn't mean you want to stream, but if you hit stream, you might want to record, so you'll get the options. So here on streaming, set it to quick sync H.264. I'm not sure why that's the preferred one, but that's what I was recommended to use, so that's what I'm doing. And then you can rescale the output. I've still got it at 1920 by 1080 for this recording, but if you're streaming, you might want to downscale that so that you're not using so much internet bandwidth. And everything else I've left at the defaults for now because I assume that the defaults are designed to give you the best performance out of the box. Will I need to change some of those? Maybe. I don't know. My computer may require changes. We'll see. And then you've got your recording options. You've got standard. I can't remember what the other one was here. But then you just choose your path for where you want to save the file that it creates, the type of file, recording format that it uses. So FLV or MP4. There's a few other ones in there, surprisingly. The encoder type. This is where you can again choose the X264 or the what do they call it? Quick sync. By default, it's set for whatever you're using for streaming. So that's kind of cool. You can also rescale your output here again, so you can stream at 1 resolution, rescale for saving the file, or vice versa. And then again, the default rate control stuff I've just left as the defaults, assuming that they are in my best interest. The audio tab I've done nothing on. I assume it's set for good quality, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Moving on to audio, this was a little trickier. It wasn't laid out quite how I was expecting, so it took me a moment to figure it out. The desktop audio device I've chosen is my speakers. My understanding is that any sound that comes from the computer will be recorded as such. So if I play an MP3 or if I'm playing a game or whatever, the sound will get recorded. And I also have my microphone, the Samsung Meteor, not to be confused with Samsung. And then there's just these options for enabling mute. Stuff to play with. So you can add extra audio devices, so on and so forth. Most of the defaults are pretty standard and good to use. Video is where you're going to set your base video resolution and your output resolution. So if you default want your output to be something other than just normal recording, you can set that here. There's different methods for how it does the downscaling. But again, this is an area where the defaults should be good for most people. And then here you can set quite a wide array of hotkeys for doing various things. I do not have that enabled at all. So one day I may get advanced enough to actually need them. And then excuse me. And then we just got some advanced stuff here. Again, it's advanced, so I just went with the defaults and left it at that. And that is really about it. So now you can see I can switch between scenes. I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was going to say, I'm not sure why it's not showing my screen, but I guess it takes a moment. So fade out, fade in, fade out, fade in. So it takes it a moment to bring the screen back. I don't know if that's just in the software a delay or what that's from. Really minor, I think. Transition properties, can't do that while we're recording. So yeah, I think that's about it. I was really happy to see there was this. Now, the other one, you couldn't choose where to put things. You could only like shove it to the left and shove it to the bottom, or shove it to the right and shove it to the top. Didn't like that. I want to be able to put it wherever I want, because I don't know the interface of what I'm going to be doing, so this might be over something I need, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you got any questions, ask them down below, and feel free to subscribe. Give me all the advice you want on everything, and yeah, we'll talk to you later. Cheers.